I would like to read to you brief excerpts from an amazing book written by a survivor of the happenings of July 1995, Zeva Advich. The book is entitled My Smile is My Revenge. As a 6-year-old in July 1995, she and her family were right there amongst the events of Potocari, Srebrenica, displaced from their home, minimal food, lack of sleep, little possessions, living in a constant state of shock and fear. It was the 11th day after the fall of Srebrenica. Mother, daughter, son had been separated from dad for many days. It was a sunny day. We used it to clean the room a little bit. When we had arranged everything, we were supposed to go get lunch. It was handed out in the rooms of the kindergarten where we had stayed in the first place. I set off with Mum, and a little bucket for the soup in my hand. My brother stayed in the room. It was the 11th day since the fall of Srebrenica. We didn't know anything about Father. At the end of the road, which seemed to endlessly descend into a valley down a slope, I saw someone. 3 men. Barefoot, the trouser legs of their camouflage trousers rolled up, their t-shirts torn. Dad? Yes, it was him. There was a cousin and a fellow combatant with him. They were all walking barefoot on the hot tarmac. We stopped as if rooted to the ground. After a few seconds that seemed like an eternity, I wrested my hand away from my mum and ran. She didn't say a word. I don't remember her face expression. My legs seemed heavy, but I ran and ran. I found myself in the arms of my father. The scream of a father and his child echoed through the valley. It was as if our bodies had melted together and our souls had united. This big man, my hero, my dad, seemingly strong, arrogant, like a rock, suddenly kneeled down and cried like a child. We were holding each other for a long time in that manner. We couldn't hug each other enough, smell each other enough. It seems to me that I only then realized what could have been. That's when I grew up. Yes, in that moment I realized that, like many of my peers, I also may never have experienced this. I was trembling and sobbing continuously. The pain was in every part of my body. It is even now as I think of it. So in context, the family, they went back to the house where, the abandoned house where they'd been staying, picked up the brother, the young brother, and then the story recommenced. We gathered the few things we had, then we went to the house of the locals whom we had stayed with first. Mum says they were screaming with happiness. They weren't hiding their emotions and their joy that Dad had survived. They knew that Mum and we alongside her would recover and succeed only that way. They witnessed the freedom, the joy, and the gatherings of a war-torn family that had survived the horrors and saved itself from the place of death.